What's up everybody, it's your boy CB back at another video. This video I'm going to be going through every single setting based on your guys' requests. You guys are always asking to show settings and stuff. I don't know what settings you want to see, so I'm going to go through every single setting that I have and tell you my opinion on it and what I think you guys should do and what I'm doing, so that every question you could have about my settings is answered pretty much. So this might be a long video, I'm not really sure, but I'm going to go through every single setting. So if you skip through, I'm going to go chronological too, so if you skip through, if you're only curious about certain parts, you can just skip right to whatever settings you want to see. So hopefully this will help answer any questions you guys have about my settings, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm just going to get started with the very first page. Language and matchmaking region, just do whatever's best for you. Toggle sprint I have off. Sprint by default I have on, and I think you should too. Sprint cancels reloading you should have off. Auto open doors I recommend having on. Hold to swap pickup, I don't really know what that means. Toggle targeting, I think all of the combat things should just be on. Auto pickup weapons can sometimes get annoying, but I still would recommend having it on. I do sort my consumables to right, but if you have a different HUD setup, I don't recommend that. Reset building choice should definitely be on and have it for walls. Turbo building should be on, edit with touch should be off, confirm with release should be on, for sure. If you have any questions with what I'm saying, just ask me in the comments and I'll clarify. So contextual tips I have on, but I don't think it's necessary. Invert view I have off. And then the airborne controls, turbo delete, tap to search, those all don't really matter. Tap to search I have on, but touch interaction mode, I'm not really sure what that means. I don't think any of those extra game options are all that important, but you can see what I have them too if you're curious. But like I said, I don't think that any of them are too important. Up next I have the spectator count I have on. All these things I have on except for the creative runtime performance stats, which you can have on if you want. I don't think any of these are all that important. I like to see my stats, I like to know what ping I'm on. The elimination feed I think is good to have, just because why not. Quick bar, minimap, like all those things I think you should just have them on basically, but they don't really affect much. Like the map you should definitely have on, obviously. You should also be able to see what ping you're on, so if you're accidentally going to like the wrong server, you can instantly realize that, because your ping will be like 100 higher than it is. But yeah, show your resources obviously, because you're going to want to know how much you have of each. None of these you guys are probably curious about, so I'm just going to be moving on to the next. But if you have questions, of course, let me know in the comments. Next up is what most of you are probably here for if you're curious about my settings. First of all, fire mode, I of course use the dedicated button. I don't recommend auto shoot or any of those, just I recommend using dedicated button. But my sensitivity for touch sensitivity is 36. I recommend somewhere between 20 and 40. Anything higher or lower I think is just too much or too little. And then my targeting sensitivity, scope sensitivity, buildings, well, the first two, the targeting and scope sensitivity, just get used to whatever you have it at and I think you'll be fine. Something near mine I'm sure is fine, it doesn't really matter that much, but my building sense and my editing sense I think are important to have them a little bit higher than 100%. So I have mine at 131. I recommend anything above 100, because you're going to want to be able to edit and build moving around faster than you would just by like your normal aiming sensitivity. So I think it's very good to have those higher than the 100%, because like I just said, it make editing and building better. You can do like more flick edits and that kind of stuff. The vertical sensitivity multiplier, I haven't changed it in a while. I just have it at 83. Look acceleration, I see people playing on like really low look accelerations because it is more consistent, but I haven't gotten to trying that around. So I'm not saying to use 100% look acceleration or not, just what I use. I think there's definitely advantages to making it low, but I haven't messed around with it much, so I'm not the best person to talk to about that. Aim assist, if you have it off, I mean your aim's going to get really good, but playing it's good to have it on. And the other stuff, none of which I really pay that much attention to. If you do have questions about the other stuff, just let me know down in the comments. And up next, the controller options. I obviously don't, well maybe you probably have no idea if I do or don't, but I don't use a controller, so the controller settings won't really have any impact on me. If you are using a controller, I don't really have any advice or opinions because I'm not a controller player and I'd be trashed with a controller, so you're on the wrong video if you're looking for controller settings. And audio settings, I think it's good to have the music, sound effects, and cinematics around somewhere like 50, and then have voice chat amped up if people have quiet mics like I do myself. And then obviously if you don't want voice chat on, it doesn't really matter. None of these really affect your gameplay, but you can see how I use push to talk. I think I use push to talk, but none of it really matters. If you do have any questions, let me know, of course. And then the next section is the controller, which obviously I don't use, so none of this applies for me or this video really. And lastly, we have the Epic account information, which you can log out or submit a refund request, that kind of stuff. For social privacy, mature language, if you're a little kid and don't want to see swear words, filter it, I guess, but obviously it doesn't really matter for me. I wouldn't have decline refund requests on. I wouldn't hide your linked account names. I don't really know what that means. Show text, notify friends, notifications. Like, I would have all those stuff on. You obviously want to receive gifts. Show you on career leaderboards. Anonymous mode, I don't recommend having on unless you're like Ninja and don't want people to see that you're in the game. There's really no reason to have anonymous mode on unless you're crazy famous and streaming. Otherwise, it just makes no sense why people do that. Hide other player names. I don't see why that would matter. And then I'd have the hitting matchmaking delay on 0 unless you're like Tfue and don't want people stream sniping and getting in your games. I hope this was helpful and you learned something. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.